Tragic.
Tragedy.
I felt sad.
Opportunity.
Shocking.
Scared.
Unforgivable.
Catastrophe.
Disaster.
It was a blessing in disguise.
I left Karachi when I was very young. That time I didn't know what is partition. I just think that we are going by ship. So of course I was very happy that I'm going on a ship first time. We went to Gujarat, Navsari Ramraj, and he found a place which was like a hospital, but that doctor was retired and all the hospital's rooms were there. So from us it was Haveli. My father, he was in Bombay. When he heard that there are riots, he didn't think of anything, only his wife. So in the dhoti, he came to Pakistan looking for his wife. And then my brothers, they were in the shop. They said there are riots. How about Amma? She's there alone. So they also joined the Muslim. They tore their pants and they said, Hindu ko maro. And they reached the Gali Khato. In the meantime, when the Muslims came, Amma got very scared. She ran to the Pakistani lady. She said, please say my izzat, my izzat. So she said, don't worry. You come, I put you under my bed, but you take out this thing because you are Hindu. So she took out the diamond, she gave her. So all the Muslim came. They say, but we saw one lady. She was running, where's the lady? So they saw the whole apartment. Amma was under the bed. So nice of her. She saved us. They couldn't afford to buy the shop. They just bought one piece to sit there. But he was genius. He used to buy the Katru Milandio Kapranju, only which he used to order and send it to Ahmedabad, to Gujarat and all this. So only that one seat was enough. From there they bought the whole shop. Now they are all living in the fake world where the only money plays an important part. If you have money, people recognize you. No money, they won't look at you, whether you are Sindhi or English. It's money. It's love. So the Harila motto is love.
My father wanted to retire. So he said, Karachi is very nice, modern city, not like Hyderabad. So he was looking for an apartment. And there were 4 buildings. He was almost going to buy the apartment there. He heard about the partition. He was very experienced. And he said, partition, there'll be riots. There'll be looting. The best thing is to pack up and fly out of Karachi. The important thing to know is keep your culture, know your language. Most of them are with their parents, most of them join their parents' business and so on. But they're drifting apart. They are educated in the schools where there are a lot of foreign influence and they want to be independent. They think the parents are interfering in their lives. So they want to stay alone, away from the family. I think they have to realize that there's a strength in unity. One blood will look after you better than any other of your friends.
Those people, Pakistani people, started kidnapping girls, raping them, killing people. So that's why we had to leave overnight. Big house, up and down, and we had a very big, dining table full of marble. Of course, we don't have homeland, but there is some attachment because we are Sindhi. So we have that attachment, but there is jealousy a lot in Sindhi. No Sindhi wants anybody to grow. They want to put them down. They already have the money, they don't want to work anymore. We have our father's money. That's what's wrong. Not easy to make money, but they have to learn to be on their own.
I left Hyderabad at the age of 20, before partition actually. In the month of April 1947, I mentioned that I was in civil service for about 12 months. My bosses were Muslims. It was a government job. I was very popular. Did not lose any member of my family, but after a few months, a friend of my brother, elder brother, whom I knew very well, he was our neighbor. He went back to salvage his property. He was attacked. He must have been about 27-year-old. His name was Banani Tahal. He was killed by the mob. He had a brother, younger brother. He saved him. He told him to run, go to home.
I come from a family of 9 daughters and 1 son. Went to convent school in Hyderabad, Sindh. And the place where we lived was beautiful mansion. In today's time, it seemed like a palace. It started from Kwebati Gitti, as they used to call it, to Shai Bazaar. Swimming pool, terraces. My father was told, you will have to stay in Pakistan. Otherwise, if you run, everybody else will run. So my father, of course, told them, of course not, I'm going to be very much here. But deep down, my father did get scared. I remember that we were sleeping. Our maid servants, who were very loyal in those days, pushed us in the car, took us to the train, and threw us inside from a window. And the train moved. So that means they were told to take us exactly around that time. We have come to India absolutely with whatever we had on our bodies. My father saw that things were really going out of hand, that there was too much killing. He told them, I think my wife should go. Don't you think I'm staying back? Mother came to the station, and as she boarded, he jumped in. And when he jumped in, he locked himself in the toilet until we reached the Indian border. We thought, let's go back and see what the situation of our homes is. We went after many, many years to Pakistan. But to me, I wish I had never gone. We went in, and to our horror, our house was like partitioned into little cubicles. And like in a little cubicle, 5 people, 7 people, our kitchen had become toilets. It was frightening. When we went to my husband's house, my husband said, do you know in that cupboard there is a safe? So they said, how can you know that? So they said, okay, come on. So then they opened the cupboard, he lifted a shelf, and he lifted it, and inside there was a safe inside. They were amazed. They said, how come you remember it? And now you've given us a safe to keep our things in.
My father and my 3 chachas each had a 3-floor unit, and all were interconnected. So we all cousins would meet together in the evening and play. My father came in and said, we have to pack and leave. On the station, I saw a lot of rioting Muslim people running around. My father, who was so scared, he made us sit down and realize that to avoid this happening again, the best solution for all of us is to fly out like arrows to different parts of the world. Today, I have family in Canberra, Sydney, London, Hong Kong, LA, and soon someone in Toronto. The reason partition happened was that the Sikhs, Muslims and Hindus couldn't unite together, so we had to separate. When people unite, they can do great things. They can win a cricket match, elect a British Prime Minister, and reach the moon. So the lesson is, we should be united and not divided.
6 of us, we had one room, one veranda, one courtyard. We used to sleep under the rain in the veranda and put a curtain. From Hyderabad to Bombay, the one station was Pakistan. One time, the station was stopped with these roids, whatever that was happening, and they killed with, usually it was talwar. Thank God, God listened to us. We were safe and sound, back to Bombay. Be happy and help each other.
When I look at my grandfather, he was a true Kshatriya spirit. He said all his family members to India, they were safe, and then he arrived with a big shotgun and a steamer. He brought all his silverware. He sold his assets and got 2 buildings in India in exchange. But this partition was conducted in the most immature and a very unforgivable way. It was done in a hurry without any planning. So the Muslims who came had no place to stay. So they went and occupied all our schools, our Gurdwara. So Sindhis were scared. So we were forced to leave because they would openly come to our store with a gun, better leave and get lost. So everybody decided that it's time to leave. But they had this belief, we made a contingent departure, thinking that we would return as a society. Then we must help each other, unite with each other, and not try to put down Sindhi to Sindhi. Because Dada Vaswani said we have got buddhi, but we don't have badi. So this is the biggest problem because everybody wants to become a chairman. And once they become chairman, they get glued to the chair. For the sake of society, I play the second role, I play the second fiddle, and that's right.
But in our house, my mother insisted Indian food on the table every single day. And that's something she had hoped that children would then eventually carry forward. And we're very lucky that my kids today have done that. And they love Indian food, with the exceptions of a few recipes. Loving, kindness, humility, service, and forgiveness. Those are the 5 things. My father always insisted that you carry that with you in life. But when I went to college, I met this friend of mine who was Muslim. Now, I didn't think Muslim Hindus. To me, I knew nothing. Nothing. All I know were Hindus. That's all I said. Who cares? We just clicked. And she used to come and spend her weekends with me. My granny turns and tells me, with her that, why do you bring a Muslim person to our house? I said, Muslim? We're friends, we're good friends. Why are we talking about religion? And then I found out that because they suffered so much during the partition and they had to leave everything behind. When I look at that line that divides the partition took place and what it is today, we're going through the same problem with all the political confrontations in India today, again with the Hindus and the Muslims. That is what I find very hard to accept. And that's what India wants to be now, all Hindus. What happened to the Muslims who lived together so well and they loved each other? There was none of this anger and animosity among each other. That was created by our own government.
47 happened out of blue, but train journey was terrible. Train was so full, I was only sitting on the top of the train. Top means inside the roof, on suitcases. So I spent whatever hours on the suitcases until I arrived in Madras. And there's so much jealousy and harsh among people that they say everybody wants to get one step ahead other, whether he and she can afford it, because somebody is wearing this or somebody has bought this property, why not I also buy? Somebody has bought jewelry, why not? Can you afford it? Can you leverage it, or can you pay your mortgage? Don't go out of your capacity just to show off that you are also equal to them when you are not. Be real. I have coined these 3 words myself without copying anything. In Sindhi, it's called Daya, Dua, Dawa. Translated in English, it's a God's grace, elder's blessing, and doctor's right medication. You cannot go wrong.
In 1947, my parents were in Hyderabad. I was born and my older sister. At that time, our house and our shop was looted. It was burnt. So we came to Bombay by ship. At that time, my mother was pregnant with a 3rd child. She had plenty of gold. She tied everything around her stomach. We came to Bombay. My father came to Bombay Central Station. We had to sleep on the platform. During that time, my mother lost the baby. In 2014, I decided to go to Karachi and Hyderabad to see my birthplace. My experience was amazing. There was so much love. Dadi, Ammi, that was the way they addressed. Most of all, cow, 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 which we Sindhis love to feed. So hospitality is our culture. I was very touched by one old lady who was 90-some years. Bale aya, it means, I'm glad you have come. They took me to T.L. Vaswani's school where my grandfather used to teach. And then, they call it, it's a shawl. So they decked me with 9 shawls. My homeland is so rich, I would like to go back again.